Good morning, dear children. Let's start today's class. Today we will be discussing basically the ozone layer depletion. Clear? Today we are going to discuss ozone layer depletion. Then there are more other topics that we are going to see it simultaneously. So starting with, in 1980s, scientists discovered a hole in ozone layer above Antarctica. The ozone layer protects the Earth's atmosphere from harmful ultraviolet rays. The hole was caused by CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, compound that rise to the upper atmosphere where they attack and destroy the ozone layer. Simple things. Ozone. What is the formula of ozone? It is O3. Here, you know it. You have already studied in your chemistry. Now, when we are talking about how due to chlorofluorocarbon ozone layer is getting destroyed and ultimately how it is that ozone hole is created, that too in Antarctica. Clear? Now, what we are going to see, we are going to see certain facts how actually it occurs. Clear? Now, in this is what we are going to see. In ozone 3, it is O3. Clear? We have already seen it. Now, when chlorofluorocarbons comes in contact with this O3, what it does, it breaks itself to oxygen plus single molecule of oxygen, that is nascent oxygen. Clear? So, what happens? Ozone, O-Z-O-N-E, ozone is lighter in weight. Know these things. Oxygen, heavier. Heavier in weight. You know one thing, whatever is lighter in weight, what happens to it? It basically rises upward, vertically upward. Okay, that is the property of ozone. When oxygen, when we are talking about oxygen, just now you know that oxygen is denser in weight, means it is a little bit heavier in weight. What will happen? It will come down. So I am giving it an upward arrow for oxygen, for ozone, and downward arrow for oxygen. Now what happens? Let me erase this. This is the surface of Earth. I am writing down over here Earth's surface. Means from the outer space. Clear? You know in stratosphere layer, ozone layer is there. So just a rough diagram over here like this way, and I am writing down over here what? Stratosphere. That is the second layer of atmosphere. In this, ozone layer is present. Now, what is happening over here? Ozone, that is O3. Ozone is light, so it will go upward and gets accumulated, gets collected in upward direction. Because it is lighter in weight, it is warm in temperature. Clear? Now, what happens when this ozone is basically broken down into oxygen and nascent oxygen? Half of it comes down like this way. Half of it comes down towards the surface of Earth. Why? Because it is transformed into oxygen, which is very much important for human and any living survival. Okay, so like this way, what is happening? Let me demonstrate you in a better way so that you can actually understand what it is. Suppose I am drawing over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now, over here like this manner, then this manner. You know what I am drawing? I am basically drawing the ozone or the O3 in which there is a compound of oxygen. Okay, so the yellow color which it is visible to you, this is basically O2, O2, O2 and O2. Wherever there will be this color, there is your O2, and rest one is in a combined manner of oxygen. Clear? Like this manner. I am using different colors so that you can understand. Now, when this chlorofluorocarbon gets in contact with ozone layer, what it basically does, see in this manner or understand in this manner from this layer, this yellow line will be disappearing like this way. Yellow line getting disappeared. Yellow line is slowly and steadily getting removed from the contact of chlorofluorocarbon. Now, what was the previous condition of ozone layer and what is the current condition of ozone layer? See, here you can see the entire gap. Here you can see the entire gap. Here you can see the entire gap. Now, when from sun, the harmful ultraviolet radiations, it is coming down over here and it is attacking or it is getting in contact with the terrestrial living beings on our surface of Earth. Okay, on our surface of Earth. Now what is happening? Ozone layer is having one function, all of you know that is to protect us from harmful radiations of sun, that is the ultraviolet radiation. If this layer is broken down, it is having certain gaps like this way, it is coming inside. So that is how your ozone layer is getting depleted when it is coming in contact with chlorofluorocarbon. I hope this entire concept is clear to you people. Alright, now in this, what else it is said like this way only, then Antarctica, the aurora australis phenomenon. Now let me tell you one more thing. In Antarctica, in Australia, aurora australis phenomenon, what actually occurs? It may seem like harsh and forbidding environment, but Antarctica holds many natural wonders for travelers who visit the region. Means what? You know now the Antarctica is the coldest, driest and windiest continent which is present on Earth. Okay, it is having such a harsh climate that no living being can stay there permanently. Okay, these are facts you already know. In spite of this much negativeness, there are many beautiful things which can be sighted in these night skies of Antarctica. One of the famous one is aurora australis. That is nothing but the northern lights. Basically, it is formed naturally due to the reaction, or you can say the chemical reaction of the solar winds and the Earth's magnetic field. Now, what is Earth's magnetic field and what is the solar wind? Let me explain. See over here. Sun. Okay. You know, in a diagrammatic manner, we always draw sun like this way. Since we were very small, like this way we are drawing sun, or we are drawing sun like this way. It's easy, you know it. Now, what are actually these things? You know, in outer space, whenever a sun is being, visualized by any satellite or any other means, they emit some amount of heat, some amount of fire continuously in the outer space. Means what happens? There are bands of solar winds. See, the winds which is coming from sun, the hot air which is coming from sun, that is known as what? Solar winds. Let me give you one very brief example. Whenever we are near the source of heat, either it is a fire or it is any flammable substances, whenever we are coming to near a source of it, let's take for an example fire only. It is the best example for that. Okay, whenever we are going near the fire, at some distance only, far away only, we can feel the heat. We are not that much close, but still we are feeling the heat. Okay, can you tell me why or how we are able to feel that heat? Because of the winds, the band of hot air which is circulated in the atmosphere. It is transferred from one point to the other point because of the blowing wind. That same thing occurs in sun also. There is a continuous explosion of sun. Okay, you know why sun shines so bright, or why any stars shines so bright? Due to the presence of hydrogen and helium. Okay, they are responsible for, you know, the continuous explosion or what is happening on the surface of sun. So it emits huge waves of wind. Since it is coming from sun, it is told as to be solar winds. Okay, it is told to be as what? Solar winds. So when these solar winds are basically charged particles of hydrogen and helium. Okay, it is a charged particle of hydrogen and helium. You know, Earth is having a core. Okay, and Earth is having two types of north. One is what? Magnetic north, and one is known as what? As true north. Okay, when north is indicated by a magnetic compass. Okay, whenever a north is indicated by a magnetic compass, it is known as what? Magnetic north means, you know, gravity. How we are standing still on Earth. How everything is so much stable due to presence of what? Gravity. That gravity is only known as what? Earth's magnetic field. And it is also having certain charged particles of ions and anions and cations. That is the thing which is present over there. Now what happens? You know, Earth is protected by several layers of atmosphere. Clear? Now when the winds, due to the explosion of sun, when the solar winds gets in contact with Earth's magnetic field, what happens? You know, let me erase this. Suppose this is Earth. Alright, you know, center is always known as what? Core. And let me give you one amazing fact about this core. This core never solidifies. It is always in a liquid manner. Do you know why? Because of the continuous amount of pressure which is exerted from Earth crust towards core and from core towards the Earth crust. It basically maintains the amount of core, and it basically maintains the shape of Earth or any other planet. Clear? So what happens whenever this core is there? You know, in this core there is basically liquid molten iron is present over there, and all sorts of metal which is having its magnetic property. Clear? So what happens? This one is pole, North Pole as well as South Pole. Now what happens? There is continuous charge of magnet which is revolving around from poles to poles, like this way. Previously it was believed that there was one giant bar of magnet which was present inside the Earth. It was just a belief. Okay, later on we came to know that it is the core only which gives Earth its gravity, and due to gravity Earth's magnetic field is maintained, and that is how we are surviving. If core will be not there, no living creature will be able to survive. See the condition of Mars planet. It was believed, now also you people get the information that water is found in Mars, traces of ice is being discovered on Mars planet. Earlier, you know, lots and lots, millions and millions of years before, what happened? There was also a molten core present in Mars, but due to the continuous, you know, hitting of solar winds, what happened? The core somehow got solidified. Okay, when core got solidified in Mars, so there was absence of gravity and there was absence of magnetic field. If there is no gravity, how we will be able to stand? That is not possible. Same thing happened. When core got solidified, ultimately what happened due to the action or due to the contact of solar wind, which is thousands and thousands degrees Celsius of temperature. We cannot say it as thousands, it is millions of degrees of temperature, which can vaporize anyone within a blink of eye. Understood? So what happened when the solar winds, the hot winds which comes from sun, that is why whenever we are standing in front of a sun, whenever there is a sun rays, whenever we are standing in front of it, we can feel the heat. Okay, same thing used to happen. Now what happened when the core of Mars planet got solidified, the entire living creature was vaporized by the continuous hitting of solar winds. I read this information somewhere in the book, either in a library or in some of the other magazines. From there I am telling you, it could be true and it could be just for such type of an interesting fact to know. Okay, so there I read it out. And what happened after this? When this life got vaporized from Mars planet, there was nothing but a red sand presence over there. No life is there now. Everything is completely solidified. No living thing, no living creature, nothing is present over there right now. Alright. Since that thing was done, means since the core got solidified of Mars planet, entire living creature got vaporized from there and there is no sign of life of it. Okay. But the Earth's atmosphere is protecting our Earth's core, which is still molten in state. That is how gravity is working and that is how magnetic field is working. So what happens whenever from sun, this solar wind is whenever it is coming in contact with the magnetic fields near the poles. Magnetic field near the poles is stronger. Why? Because all the magnetic field, basically all the magnetic lines get closer around the poles. So the concentration of magnetic field or the gravity is highest around the poles. So what happens whenever this solar winds comes in contact with Earth's magnetic field, there is a very natural and beautiful creation of nature occurs, and that is only known as Aurora Australis. That is another thing which happens. So what happens after this? When this solar winds comes in contact with Earth's magnetic field, the charged particles basically collide with each other and they give out certain colors with the presence of oxygen and nitrogen in blue color, violet, purple, indigo, orange, pink colors. Okay, and if you are seeing in page number 139, figure 10.5, where there is written Aurora Australis, the night sky, are you seeing there is a ribbon, bands of colors, it is visible in night sky. That is not edited picture or that is not Photoshop, that is original. Okay, that is the reality, how it looks in Antarctica. Clear? And this beautiful creation is only done around poles where the magnetic field is strongest, so you cannot find it over equatorial line or Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn. You will always find it around the North Pole or the South Pole. Clear? So that is the entire concept of Aurora Australis and everything. Now how much power lights up? It is 1 million megawatt all of a sudden. Clear? That is the thing. The best time for tourists to glimpse this incredible sight on the clear night with few clouds around the midnight. Means in midnight the night view is very beautiful to watch. Clear? That is the thing. Then effects of global warming on Antarctica. When there is no presence of living creature over there, how come global warming is happening on Antarctica? How come ozone layer is happening on Antarctica? Because whatever are the greenhouse gases which is responsible for global warming, or whatever are the greenhouse gases which is responsible for ozone layer depletion, they are basically lighter in weight. Okay, they are lighter in weight and they are warm in temperature. So whatever is warm in temperature, it will always go and rise vertically upward. So in vertically upward, what is present? North Pole and South Pole. Clear? So the concentration of atmosphere is also very light around the poles. It is very thick around the equators and tropics, both the Capricorn and Cancer. So whatever harm this global warming can be means whatever harm it does, it is affecting mostly whatever is the life or ecosystem present around the poles, whether it is the North Pole or it is the South Pole. Clear? That is the thing. Now, the temperature of Antarctica as a whole is predicted to rise by a small amount over next 50 years. An increase in rate of ice melting is expected to be at least offset by increased snowfalls as a result of global warming. Students, this topic, basically the effects of global warming, it is just for reading purpose. Same thing is the condition with vegetation, animal life and minerals, which is present over here. So you can do one thing, topic number F, that is effects of global warming on Antarctica, and topic number G, that is vegetation, animals and minerals, that you can study on your own at your home. Okay, and whenever we will be having our live class, from these particular portions, if you will be having any doubt, you are free to ask me. Clear? So, in the next session when we will be meeting, we will be discussing the last 3 topics of this particular chapter, that is Indian expedition to Antarctica, in which you have only to underline the important statements and in which you have to learn certain points. Means by underlining you will be able to know that which all statements are very important for you to learn, remember and memorize. Same thing is the why is Antarctica a human free zone, that is topic number 4, and what is the future of Antarctica, that is topic number 5. So these all 3, 4th and 5th topic will be discussed in the next session. Till then, please read the topics which I have asked you just now, that is the effect of global warming on Antarctica, and G, that is vegetation, animal lives and minerals. Please do study it, and whatever will be your doubt will be cleared in your live session. Thank you, children.